Hello, my name is Christine and I run a vintage shop called Prima Treasures on Etsy. Today I wanted to talk about this lamp that I found in an estate sale this past weekend, and it has a couple of interesting things about it. One of which is that it looks like an antique stained glass lamp, but in reality it's actually a repro. And the reason I know that is because the base is stamped with the name of the company that made it. And they were a mid-century company who are known for making a lot of repro style lamps. So they had an interesting name. Their name was F&F Industries, and it's not F as in the initial, it's F as in they spell it EF. So EF and EF Industries, which is a weird name, and I honestly don't know how they came up with it. But because of all of the repro lamps that they tended to do, they actually got into some legal kerfuffles. And I found a legal ruling in one of the cases they were in. It seemed to be basically about, scuffles between different companies about who owned certain designs. But basically, they were told, as part of the ruling, that if they wanted to protect their designs, it would probably be smart for them to put a date on their products so that they could establish what's called first use in legal circles. So they actually did start doing that, and part of the reason I know that this is not an antique lamp is not only the company that made it, but also the fact that they stamped the date on it, which on this lamp is 1970. So typically, they tend to mark their products down here on the bottom underneath, so you'd have to flip it upside down to take a look. But if you ever have any question about whether a lamp is antique, a very easy thing to do is to flip it upside down and see if there's a mark. And the F&F folks are a pretty strong signal that what you're looking at is not antique because of their prolific manufacturing of repro lamps. So the other reason I wanted to talk about this lamp is because even though it's a repro, it's vintage, but it's a repro. It has the look of what we would call a slag glass or panel glass lamp, and you can see here that it's got this metal frame, and then behind here we've got the glass. This is called slag glass, and it's called that because you've got this sort of marbled blending of colors, but it's not actually like a mosaic the way a typical stained glass lamp would be. So even though some people might refer to it as a stained glass lamp, it's really not that, because when the other reason is because the little pieces aren't soldered together. This is metal and the glass is behind it, and it's just one big sheet of glass behind this little metal decorative accent. So, but they are still very desirable by buyers and collectors. Collectors probably would not be as interested in this particular company, but the look is still appealing. So the nice thing about this particular lamp, and one of the reasons I wanted to talk about it, is because when I got it home, I found a surprise that we didn't really pick up on when we bought it, and that is that this is actually a three-way lamp. It's got a three-way switch in it, and the base lights up, which I had not seen before. So let me demo that for you real quick so you can see. You turn it on once, and you've got the base lit up here, which could work as a nice little night light. Then you click the switch again, and the top comes on, which lets you use it just as a regular table lamp. And then if you really want to have fun with it, you light them both up, and you can see it looks really nice lit up. So as I said, even though it's not an antique lamp, it still has a good look, and it's something that's going to appeal to buyers. So I just wanted to put this out there because I do think it's interesting that even when something is not legitimately antique, it can still be valuable because it has a design style that buyers want. So, and this one was unusual, as I said, because of the lighted base, which I didn't even realize was something that would be out there in the world. Anyway, I think this is an interesting item, and if you happen to see one, don't be afraid When we were at the estate sale, there was at least one other couple eyeing it, and they walked away because the company had put a price of $125 on it, which actually is probably a fair retail price. But if you don't know that, it could certainly be intimidating, the prospect of buying someone's used lamp for over $100. But this happened to be half price day, so I got it for half price, which is kind of funny because, as I say, the other couple seemed like they were kind of maybe, maybe not, and ultimately walked away. So we grabbed it, and I was kind of glad that we did because I didn't realize it was going to have a lighted base, and I think it's pretty cool, and it has a great look regardless of the retro status of it. So anyway, I hope you learned something useful today, and I appreciate you watching. Thank you.